So I think at this point we know that the Jets are not the most functional organization. But, Jordan, are the Jets fixable?
Not with Woody. Not with this owner.
Jeez.
I think we actually talked in the pre-production meeting about the value of a good owner. And if you go down the list of franchises that have struggled, whether it's in the NBA, the Knicks, James Dolan, the NFL, Woody Johnson, Dan Snyder. I mean, if you don't have a good owner, it's really hard to win. And it's hard to be consistent just as an organization. And the Jets, since we've talked about this, Key, but since Woody Johnson bought the team in 2000, they have the 6th worst winning percentage in the NFL. And they have the longest playoff drought in North American sports, 2010. So with all that in mind, to me, as long as Woody's the owner, there's just no way the Jets can be consistent. Even if they were to have a good season, it's not a sustainable arc of success.
And the question was, can the Jets, are they fixable, right? I think they are fixable.
With
I
Woody?
understand. Yeah, because Woody just needs to stay the hell out of the way. He doesn't have to sell the team. If he can figure out how not, but
Bring, bring. I can fix him, girl.
I understand. If he could somehow, like Jordan just talked about, whoever his
Find Jesus? How is he changing?
I don't know, is his family,
Tiger doesn't
somebody
change its stripes, though.
sit and look at the Kansas City Chiefs, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Seattle Seahawks, the Los Angeles Rams, and look at, when you at these owner meetings walking around, and all those big baller owners are in their private jets parked all against each
they all
other.
got jets.
They all got all that,
Yeah,
right?
Woody got his hat.
They got all. They got all that. They in the big old West Palm Beach hotels talking and what they gonna do and steakhouses. And when you sitting there and having these conversations, he should ask them, "What is it that you do?" And they will tell him, "I stay the hell out of the way."
You
And
think that Woody Johnson is going to sit at a table with other billionaires and ask them for advice on how to run a team?
You don't necessarily have to. You don't have to necessarily say advice. You could just ask them how they got to the success level that they've gotten to. Now that's asking a lot, but you said, are they fixable? I'm telling you, they're fixable.
Yeah.
If he can stay his tail out of the way, just go be an owner and be rich. Sit up there and get a fake clap in the box with your wine, and you know how they do the high five and they halfway miss. They can't really. It's always, you know, do that. Do that.
Yeah, I don't think we're really living in the era of billionaires minding their business and going and being rich.
I understand.
It's pretty obvious that we're.
I understand. You can look at Tepper in Carolina.
You know,
just
we
get out of the way.
Outside of just the NFL, like people want to do things.
No, I understand.
Donald Sterling.
Get out.
You started with the Donald. You were
Get out of the
there.
way.
Different last name.
Get out of the way.
But you're almost cooking, Jordan.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bob?
I mean, what do we mean fix? Like have long-term success,
How
short-term?
about just make the playoffs?
Make the playoffs is a good
Let's start
start.
by making the playoffs.
Well, make the playoffs, absolutely he can fix. Because I look at this owner and I say, hey, did he not try to this year? Did he not go for it? Because
But he got in the way.
no, but listen, it wasn't his fault that Aaron Rodgers didn't live up to what we thought he can do.
Yeah, but he fired the coach 4 weeks in or something
And then they
like
got
that.
progressively worse.
Yeah, he fired Robert Saleh like they was 5 games. I think it was like 5 games into the season.
I get it. So you're saying if Robert Saleh was there, they would have won? Do you think Robert Saleh was the
but they
answer?
got worse.
I don't think they'd have been. I don't think they'd
Okay,
have been
yeah,
at
they
4
saw
and
the
10.
scapegoat.
And he was the scapegoat. Listen, though, they are farther along than any non-playoff team right now. They're ready to go win today. When I look at the stars they have, Breece Hall, Garrett Williams, Devontae Adams,
they got players.
Like, they need a quarterback.
Paul, you're not listening to me.
But you're saying make the playoffs, right?
Paul, you're not listening to me.
What are you saying?
They fired the coach after the 5th week.
Okay.
And I think they were 2 and 3 at
Because
that point.
obviously things were getting dysfunctional between him and Rodgers. And when you bring
That's
Rodgers
fine.
over there, who you believed in, that can say, hey, when I bring Rodgers over here, we're trying to win and make the Super. We're not trying to win to make the playoffs. We're trying to go to the Super Bowl.
The owner talked to Aaron Rodgers for an hour on the phone, but they didn't talk about the head coach at all. Remember that. And they fired the dude like within hours of hanging up.
That was the right move.
You're 4 and 10. You were 2 and 3.
We saw this season going downhill when Rodgers pushed.
I can
Robert Saleh
I promise you. Oh, I didn't push me. They was doing whatever. But I promise you, though, Paul, if he was still a coach, they wouldn't be 4-10. I don't know what they would be, but they wouldn't be 4-10, and they wouldn't be the laughing stock of the National Football League.
So you're saying why Rodgers couldn't play better?
Because he is
he's 40.
not very good.
Exactly. So this wasn't on the coach because.
So why fire him?
This was on Aaron Rodgers.
So why fire him?
This was
and then
on
why
Aaron
threaten?
Rodgers.
And then why threaten to bench Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers fired him.
You said I'm loud. Damn.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is an owner that wants a win. And he has the necessary pieces in play because when I look at the Raiders, when I look at Tennessee, when I look at all these organizations, the Giants and all these other organizations, they're further away than the New York Jets.
They needed Woody Johnson to go further away, go to the UK, get that Trump ambassadorship.
That's over with.
That would have helped.
I do not think that the Jets are fixable because I do not believe in changing men fundamentally as person.
Well, especially 70-year-old billionaires.
I let people be who they are. Self-awareness is a skill. It is something that you can develop, but generally you have a little touch of that in you or you don't. Anytime an owner does something crazy and I think that it can't be topped, they say, hold my champagne and caviar and let me show you what I can do. Let me cook. And boy, have they done a job with this team. You have one job as an owner. You buy the organization, you hire good people, you support them,
the hell out of the way.
The hell out of the way.
You know who's done that? Josh Harris.
Lots of owners do that because it's the fundamental job of an owner to support the team, to write big checks, and hire good people.
The best at it is Kroenke. The best.
Kroenke's done a hell of a job with the Rams.
Well, how many checks you need? I got plenty of checks. Just let me know when we win. I'll be there for the celebration of the ticker tape parade.
The least that you can do as an owner is create a functional organization where people can work. And the Jets are fundamentally awful at that. We talk about ownership all the time and how important it is. The ownership to me, when we look at it like, okay, the ownership's like the 1%, so they're at the top of the pyramid. It's the opposite. They're really the foundation of the organization. They set the tone for everything. They make the hires, they do the fires, they write the checks, they set the tone and the culture. What an ownership does to create and build a team starts with them. And it's chaotic. The foundation is broken.
I've been around I've been around a bunch of owners, but I've spent time with in particular, two owners, the Glazer family in Tampa, spent a lot of time with them, okay? As a player and a non-player, a lot of time, whether it was at their house, in their offices, whatever the case is. All they do is hire the coaches. When they don't go well, they fire the coaches and hire somebody else. But they're not trying to tell somebody to go look at the Madden rating and go do this and go do that. They're not doing that. And then Mr. Kraft. I used to go to the Boston game, New England games, sit in Mr. Kraft's box, talk to him about everything except football, because all he was interested in was winning, not saying, well, I think I need to trade this guy, I think I need to do, because he wasn't involved like that. He just wanted to be able to celebrate, Paul, and say, hey, this is my team, I own it, and look how many rings I got. He wasn't down there trying to tell Bill, I need another tackle, I want you to go trade. When you start doing that, you don't know what you're doing.
The problem is, Paul's right. They do have a lot of talent.
They do.
And because of that, people convince themselves that they can solve this and that they're just a coach or they're just a quarterback away. And the reality is they're not, because it's always going to be disrupted by bad ownership. Like if you don't let things grow, you're constantly unearthing it and moving the plant around, it's eventually going to die. And that's where it is. Like
they plant the seed and then 3 days dig it up,
move it somewhere else.
You know what's
you need to pack it in there a little bit.
You do. But you know what's crazy is that success breeds hubris. They had no success, and yet they still have a foundation of hubris. So that goes back to the original argument with Woody Johnson. He's not willing to change, therefore the organization won't change, therefore they won't win.
I'm trying to help him change, though. All you got to do is look at the successful owners. It's not hard. They go like I did.
But Joy I think she's right when she says that's not his DNA.
But it's not hard to, if I'm terrible at looking at something, and then I look at something and I'm trying to fix it and I see the good thing in it and something, I'm trying to go with the good thing. Is that? I understand.
She wants to talk to you.
No, I ain't changing. Leave me alone. I'm gonna be me.
You ain't gonna never win then. You're gonna always go to the West Palm Beach steakhouses, and the owners, the Kroenke's gonna be walking around with their rings on, saying, what are you getting ready to do tonight? Oh, I'm going to go get on my
needs to be walking around with this
300-foot
jet
yacht, and that's it.
You know what else he's walking around with? Big things and them wallets, and that's not changing whether the Jets win or
All
whether
of
they
them got
lose.
big things and wallets. Do you want to be able to talk at the table, Joy, or no?
What kind of self-awareness are you asking for, Keyshawn?
I just want him to know.
Look, God, I want you. I've told you this many times.
Because I want to talk at the table.
Such a good billionaire. I promise.
I want to be.
I'm gonna be such a good billionaire.
No, Joy,
I promise I will be a good billionaire.
Paul, I want to talk at the table, man. I want to sit with Jerry, in the Rooney family, in the Hunt family, in the Crafts. I want to be able, because if they all sitting at the table and your hands is naked and theirs got big old diamonds on it.
If it was that simple, what you're saying is right, Keyshawn. It actually is solvable.
Solvable.
There is an answer to this. Whether or not that is actually going to happen, I'm going to go with the very, very, very high percentage that conversation is never going to happen.
But he ain't going to never win.
Well, then the answer is no. They're not fixable. But focusing on Aaron Rodgers, he told reporters that his attitude would be a little different if the Jets draft a quarterback than it was when the Packers drafted Jordan Love. Paul, you were a voice in the locker room.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a mentor?
Yeah, I was a mentor for a good part of my career as you got older and you gained knowledge. And I think that's important. When you've had the career that Aaron Rodgers had, I really feel like he's been humbled this year. You know what I'm saying? Because initially you're like, Rodgers not like that. Everybody said he's not a leader. You know, he doesn't create the culture and all these things. But, hey, listen, there's no denying that he's had success in this league and he's made his mark. And so things didn't go his way the way he wanted it to go this year. And maybe that's humbling for him, and he sees light at the end of the tunnel. So this is his way of saying, hey, on my way out, maybe I can give some gems to the next generation coming up and help them on their path to maybe a successful career.
Well, Keyshawn, the mentor?
Aaron Rodgers?
I think you're a mentor now.
He's my mentor.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about me as a player?
My mentor.
No, you talking about as a player. I did what I wanted to do, and if you wanted to follow, But I know I didn't sit with dudes. I knew to go in the film room at 8 o'clock in the morning, and when I had time after practice, go in the film. And if you wanted to come, cool, but I wasn't bringing you.
So you led by example.
Led by example.
You know how he led by example? He mentored me and told me all the good spots in the Hamptons.
What's wrong with y'all?
Do you believe
No.
if Aaron Rodgers was with the Jets next year, and if they drafted a young quarterback, that he would mentor them?
No. Lies, and more lies.
Wow.
See, he's looking for a spot, soft landings. Now, all of a sudden, over the last month or so, he's starting to say things, right? Like, I can mentor a guy. I'm starting to feel better. My body's coming. You know, he's starting to kind of give you that 4 or 5 games and play well to the point where you sit back, you go, yeah, he's playing well. He's changed a little bit on his way out. Because if it ain't the Jets, where else is it going to be? Mm-hmm. If it ain't the Jets, where else is it going to be? So if I can convince somebody at the Jets and Woody Johnson and company to just bring me back for another year, they may fall for it, especially since I've had a nice stretch here in the last couple games of throwing touchdowns and no interceptions. And if I can play well the next 3 games, and then I endorse a young quarterback, they say, yeah, I think we can do it, opposed to going out there and getting another veteran quarterback like a Kirk Cousins, for instance, to teach a young guy how to play the position. But I don't believe Aaron Rodgers one bit at all.
I
don't believe him.
I don't believe him either, because in this particular state that he is in, where he isn't going to go and win an MVP and do all of those things that he did after Jordan Love got there, if there was a young quarterback in waiting that they were planning on starting next year, Aaron Rodgers would already be sitting. He'd truly be mentoring, because he would not be starting anymore. There's a reason why he's playing. It's because there's no one else to play as badly as he's played. Now, I will say, though, I can't completely discount his mentorship ability, because Jordan Love is very good. And he's said that he helped him. So, now, I don't...
But Jordan Love ain't going... But
I do think that the Packers are a really good organization, and LaFleur is a really good coach. So I'm going to give slices of the pie to that as well. And I think Jordan Love is very good. But I can't say that Aaron didn't help him at all.
Jordan Love is from here. And the one thing that Jordan Love is not going to do is the bus, roll a dude over, and back it back up, and roll it over again.
So you're saying, so maybe
He
that.
gonna say all the right things. That's how he was raised by his family. He's just not gonna do that. Now, I can understand that Aaron Rodgers thought a certain way, and yeah, you may have helped in some capacity while you were there, but it wasn't like Jordan Love was going over to your house watching film extra.
No. And I don't give all of the credit to Aaron Rodgers on Jordan Love's success to Aaron Rodgers. I don't even think about that. But he was there when Jordan Love was behind him.
I think it's plausible to a degree because he was certainly not thrilled with the fact that they drafted Jordan Love. However, that relationship warmed over time, and Jordan, has said it's helped him. He helped him.
But you're gonna always have a piece of young guys that's in your room, because they much like I didn't verbally mentor individuals. They just followed and saw, and then naturally they would come and they would see if he's doing this and he's working and it's working for him, then let me follow what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, hey, man, come over to my house and watch some extra film. It's like...
Yeah, I think we're stretching the word mentor a bit.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's not in his job description to mentor, but you always want your veteran quarterback, especially Hall of Famer, to help. But Brett didn't do it for him, right? That was a big deal.
Yeah,
so
Brett came out and said he ain't doing that. It's his job. But Aaron certainly watched Brett when he was there. I promise you that.
Right, but absorbing things from being in proximity to someone is very different than someone's being your mentor. A mentor is somebody that's almost like your family.
That's the whole point that I'm trying to make.
Right, so I'm saying I think we're stretching the word mentor.
Like for instance, for me, as a rookie, I had Frank Wright, the quarterback. Now, when you want to say, I know this is so old. When you say mentor, that was a mentor to me as a quarterback.
Different position, he wasn't threatened.
But he would sit down with me after practice, before practice, late, to make sure that I got the information correctly. He was a coach on the board. To me, that went a long ways. That's a mentor to me.
My mentor, I had a good mentorship program.
Who was your vets? Who were your vets?
My vets when I came in?
Larry Bird.
No, I ain't that old.
Kevin McHale.
No,
I know who it was.
Stop.
Probably
Robert Parrish.
Probably D. Brown. Was it like D. Brown, somebody like that?
My mentor?
D. Brown.
I don't know if I even had a mentor. I don't know.
Who was your guy that you leaned on?
Somebody on the team. Y'all had somebody.
Man, we was a young team when I came in.
You didn't have any OGs at all.
So like Kenny Anderson was an OG.
Okay.
So to a certain degree, I mean,
that wasn't gonna be again. You and I both.
I was more than Kenny Anderson's security guard.
Yeah.
But did you mentor?
I mentored a lot of guys throughout my career. Boston, a lot of the young Tony Allen, of course, a lot of the young guys. Rondo was in there, Delonte West. But my greatest mentorship program was probably when I got to Washington, when I helped out Bradley Beal and John Wall, because they were going through, I heard some issues between, the coaches and them, and I thought I meant the fences. I was taking guys out and say, you got to be like this, showing them in practice, really like sitting down with them, having dinners, like, look, y'all the leaders, I'm here just to help. I'm not here to take y'all shine. This is what y'all need to do, to get the culture right. Boom, because this is y'all team, and this is how it should look with y'all two as leaders. And so I really felt like I was
good OG. How about Polish Hammer? What was he doing?
Oh, me and Polish Hammer was at the hookah lounge hanging out.
See? That's what I'm saying. He's talking about
more time. My God.
That's my guy.
Mentor to the players.
Hey, do as I say, not as I do.
Doing what? What was you teaching, Paul?
You led by example, not Paul.
No, I led by example, though, because they saw me at practice, the first one there, doing the necessary things to prepare. I was on it. You don't become at the level that I made it to by not actually being on it. Now, I enjoyed my time, but I was there getting the job done. But, hey, I enjoyed it.
Don't you think we know that
every time we got out, I really want to embarrass him with the autograph lady, or actually with the FaceTime. We were at dinner last week, and as we were leaving the restaurant, a woman came up to Paul and put her cell phone in his face.
She did this. Hey, can you talk to my son? Hey, he's in college. Can you say hi? He's on FaceTime. She's right here.
You know what she's yelling at him? She's saying he's studying for finals. He really needs a good luck charm. Paul goes, get that.
I'm like, hold on, man. I'm paying for my food. I'm like, I'm distraught now. I'm like,
People,
I told you gotta have
it was
space.
rude. It was more rude.
space.
though.
It was rude. It was very
It was
rude.
more rude.
It was
I guess
rude.
she had to came up more nicely and just say, hey,
But I
can you
already-
say hi to my son? Da-da-da. I was like, oh, okay.
But see, you
problem.
gotta learn to get the eyebrows down.
Oh,
I
so
can't do the Keyshawn.
Yeah,
Oh, no, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough.
Well, that's because he's a twirler.
That's tough.
You gotta learn to get the eyebrows down, man.
That's tough.
I keep
You
telling
gotta
you.
get your resting beef in.
Yeah, you gotta get the. You can't all that smiling. Yeah, smiling and doing all that all the time.
Yeah, you're having too much fun.
I can't get the
No,
key.
Joy, no. I'm a.
Oh, no.
He say so much without saying nothing.
Yeah, that's it. Get you away from me, bothering me while I'm trying to eat my damn
Maybe I
food.
should take a clue.
Show up very
No,
snowy.
you're my friend. We're gonna go to the Hamptons
Maybe I
together.
should paint my eyebrows thicker so when they go
practice?
down, they go. I need to paint them
You got
thicker.
your ISO. Just hit them with your mean face.
Yeah, that's what Bill used to always.
And you look Bill.
You look
You're disturbed.
You're not nailing
I
it.
got it. I ain't got
Bill
it.
used to tell me, Joy, Bill, like, what's wrong with you? I said, nothing. He said, you don't be frowning and doing all that. I said, no, I'm cool. I'm chilling.
What would Gruden tell you?
Man, leave Gruden alone, man.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.